Alright, hey, welcome back to the JKMotoEntertainment channel, and welcome back once again to our favorite place, Stable B. That is where we are. I am in a hoodie. It is winter, it is cold outside, we're not riding, so unfortunately, it's that time of year where you get to just kind of listen to me ramble about different things out here in the stable, but that's what we're out here for. So today, specifically, we were going to ramble, hopefully not too much, but a little bit about what makes a track bike. Off to the left of me right now, you can't see it in screen, but I have what I would call a track bike. Right here behind me, next to me, also that you cannot see, I have a race bike. We'll point out those two in a second. Over off to the side, I would have another kind of track bike that's still street legal technically. And then way off in the back corner, which I'll show you also again in a little bit, I have something that many people wouldn't consider anywhere near a track bike. But I think we're gonna get into tonight why that might still be a track bike, why you don't have to have a dedicated track bike and you don't even really have to have a sport bike at all. If you are interested in figuring out why that might be, stick around in the video please. And right before we get into it, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below, throw a like on the video. Let's get into what actually makes a track bike and why just about every bike on the road should see a racetrack at least once in its life. All right, so like I just mentioned, back behind me, I'm sitting right between two of my favorite bikes. I have some other bikes, like I said, I'll show you those in a second, but tonight I really wanted to just dig into, I got a lot of friends that ride motorcycles, and I always ask them, like, you gonna go to the racetrack? Because that's what I love to do, right? And so over here, we have our 2008 Suzuki GSX-R 750 track bike. Behind it is an 09, that one's still street legal, it's just got the lights taped up. And this is our 2019 RSV4 1100 factory race bike, right? So it's got some race numbers on it and it will be registered for racing this upcoming season, 2025. Very excited about that. But when I first started doing track days, I had this same bike and it was in street fairies. This guy right here, one of my favorites. It was blue, had green rims, all those awesome things. And I think at the time, I was kind of under the impression that you definitely had to have a sport bike to go to the racetrack, to do the track day thing. You need to be on a sport bike because that's what they're built for. That's it, you know, it's a race bike. It's a race replica. The Gixxer RR. It's what it's supposed to be, and that's just what made sense in my head. But as I started to actually kind of think about it and do it a little more, and talking to some other people, you don't see it very often, but at times you will actually come to find that you will see some pretty interesting bikes out on the track. And I remember back in my first track day ever, I got passed by a dude on like a KLR 650. And if you don't know what a KLR 650 is, that's a little interesting because you're on a motorcycle YouTube channel and you should, but that's okay. It's a little bit of dual sport action, adventure touring might kind of fit in that category a little bit, but when you get passed by it and you're on a Gixxer 750, you're getting passed by a dirt bike. And it probably wasn't, but it looked like it was on knobbies. And I just remember thinking to myself like, whoa, I got a long ways to go. This is a lot more than I thought it was gonna be. But it was also at that moment that I started to kind of realize that like, you don't have to have a sport bike to do track days. So I just wanted to put this video out tonight to kind of talk about what all bikes can do track days, and I don't really need to cover that in detail because it really should be just about every bike. And then why I think that even if you are on, let's say, a Harley Street Glide, you should still go out and absolutely do a track day on your bike. Now I know there's gonna be some people in the audience that are thinking I'm crazy. There's no way, what are you talking about? So I want to cover my reasons for that. Biggest reason is one, it's just a track day. It is not a race. And so you don't have to have anything fast, you don't have to have anything lightweight, you don't have to be a pro racer, you can just go do a track day. And that should be open to anyone. Once again, it's not a race. You don't need a race license, you don't need any sort of special license besides, I think, most places want you to have a motorcycle endorsement, but not even riding on the road, so I don't know. Talk to your local track day or see what they say. But anyway, but the biggest thing and the biggest reason I think, especially us that are riding sport bikes, shouldn't deter other people is one, if someone comes out on their Harley and they enjoy it, this could be you that I'm talking to right here. If you come out and you enjoy it, there is a chance that you're gonna get a taste for it, and you're gonna want a little more speed, a little more oomph, a little more ability in the corners, or you're gonna see that guy that's at the top of that C group and he's just starting to drag his knee a little bit, and you're like, ooh, I kind of want to do that. How do I do that? And despite the king of the baggers out there dragging knee on the big old bagging bikes, we love it. You might not be able to do that on your standard street glide. Easiest way to do it would be to pick up one of these bad boys, but that'd be down in your future, right? So for your sport bike guys that have Harley friends, whatever else, that's a great reason to bring them out. You might convert them over finally. Even if not, The biggest reason that I want to touch on tonight is just the training aspect. So something that I tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, it doesn't matter what bike you have. It doesn't matter how slow you are, how fast you are, what level at all you think you are at. The racetrack and doing a track day is one of the best things you can do on your motorcycle, and that is simply because there's nowhere else that you can ride unlimited, unlimited, we'll get more into that in a second, without worry of other traffic, without as much worry of wildlife. Don't talk to the Australians about that, they have a problem down there. Without worry of there being random things on the track that you wouldn't expect. Sometimes you'll find a chain and whatever else from someone's car, but you're not going to be completely covered in pine cones, and I think Oregon had a problem with goose poop. But anyway, in general, the track surface is clean, especially the racing line, and the tracks take good care of their racetracks, track management, and they'll make sure that's a clean surface before you go out for your first session in the morning, and then everyone's kind of watching it and keeping people up to date, so you have a nice clean surface. The other thing too is there's no traffic out there that isn't going the same direction and trying to do the same thing that you are doing. You're not on the road with people making lefts, rights, and everything else in front of you where they can't see you, you're invisible, and you could get hit. You're not on the road where you have to lane filter just to keep yourself safe at a stoplight so you don't get hit from the back. You are on a racetrack with people like-minded on motorcycles, all going the same direction, trying to do the same thing. That's get a little faster or have some fun. Those are my main reasons. The other, the importance of that reason is kind of going back to that unlimited thing that I was talking about. The racetrack for any bike does not have speed limits, and once again doesn't have other traffic, and in general, even if you're smart about the way you play it, you can have a pretty open racetrack to yourself if you're willing to kind of come in hot pits and let some people pass and whatever else. And so I do truly think that doing a track day is one of the best things that anyone can do, no matter what bike you're on, be it cruiser, be it dirt bike, we'll say dual sport, sport touring, adventure touring, whatever the bike might be. You should absolutely do a track day, because you're gonna find that you can do some things on your bike that you didn't actually know you could do before. You might be bending it pretty hard out there in the roundabouts. You might do a pretty hot commute to work, but you get out on the racetrack where it really opens up, those laws go away, there aren't cops waiting for you at the main straight like, oh, speed limit was 90, you did 92 and a half, going to jail. That doesn't happen, right? You can actually open your bike up, enjoy it, and you get a way better feel for, how much brakes does this bike actually have. It's out on the street, you shouldn't be testing those things. You come to a stoplight, you don't want to hold your brakes to the last second and then grab everything you can and see like, okay, can this thing actually make the stop by the red light? Because you don't want to find yourself out in that intersection. When you get up to the racetrack, you can kind of start to push that envelope a little further and a little further and a little further. That's what it's for. It's a safer environment. It's trained, right? So you're coming up to a turn, your first time in, and I say push the envelope a little further, because I don't want you to just come in a turn and be like, oh, well, Easton over at JKMotoEntertainment said that I should just come out here and test my brakes in turn one. That's not true. Absolutely not. But you can start to open up that envelope. You can get a feel for those brakes and say, how much can they actually do? How late can I have this braking marker? How hard can I squeeze that brake lever? And then when you go back to the road, you know that if you need that, you've got it in your back pocket, you've tested it before somewhere safe, and you've got it available. Halfway through a corner, you start working on your trail braking, you find that halfway through a corner, you can add a little more brake, or you can let off a little bit. You can increase your radius, you can decrease your radius by using that throttle a little bit. These are all great things that you can test, and you can test them out in a controlled environment on a racetrack, no matter what bike you're on. The key ticket here is, once again, no matter what bike you're on, I'm going to preach to you that you should go do a track day. And I'm also going to preach to you that if you are already doing track days and you're on a sport bike and that's why you're at this channel, please find your friends, please take them out, because we can convince them to get sport bikes. That's the ticket, right? But the truth is, I love riding a Harley more than anyone else. As much as anyone else. There's definitely people that love it more than me. But as much as like your regular guy, I love riding my Harley out on the street. I love taking a cruise. I have yet to take my own personal, I've got a Sportster 1200. Have yet to take that out and do a track day on it. I think it's mostly because when I get out there, I've got something I'm working on. I'm either testing something new or trying to get faster that track, whatever it might be. I've got my lineup of sport bikes. Sometimes I haven't even test ride other bikes. You can check out some of that stuff on the channel. Please do click subscribe while you're there. But I've seen, it was kind of awesome. We mentioned the KLR at the beginning of the video. There was one time I pulled up to, I think we were down at Roebling Road, and I looked over and there was a street glide. Like, no joke. It wasn't bagged out ready to go for racing. It was bagged out ready to go for like cross-country trip. I'm going to Yellowstone this spring, summer, right? Doing a road trip, and got bags all over it, all three of them, the big old stacker bag in the back with the backrest on it, big old chrome crash bars on the side, like chrome everywhere, tons of chrome. But it was awesome. The guy went out there and he was chugging around on that thing, and I truly believe it's 100% worth it. You will get more out of your bike. It's not that much money. If you're spending that much on a Harley, you probably have the money anyway. You can do it. And you will enjoy it so much more. The canyons are awesome, right? We all love going through the canyons, going through the twisties, but doing a track day on a Harley, you're also probably gonna get some looks. If you're worried about the whole image thing, don't worry about it too much. Come hang out with me, come find me, and it'll be awesome. I'll ask you how it is all day, because it is different. You know, I've never done it. I want to real bad. But the training that you can get, the experience you can get, and the tools you can have that are often associated with just racetrack use, but can be used on the street, it's huge. It's unmeasurable, right? It's massive. Doing a track day on your bike, no matter what bike you have, is amazing. And like I said, there is a chance you show up and you see the sport bike thing, and you see the knees and all the awesome cool things that go on. You're like, well, maybe, and we convince you to come join us. But in the real, we'd be happy to have anyone out there. I'd be happy to see it all. Also, there are literally races with baggers. That's kind of like starting to become a thing anyway. You can get like raised bags on the back to go do track days. I don't know, what do they call those? The S or something like that. Anyway, if you're not watching Moto America King of the Baggers, that stuff's really cool. They're not really bagger bikes anymore, but they're super cool to watch, so go check that out. Message I really want to send home today, once again, is just no matter what bike you're on, it doesn't have to be a track bike, it doesn't have to be a race bike, it doesn't have to even be a sport bike. A motorcycle track day is labeled motorcycle track day for a reason. No matter what motorcycle you have, you can do the track day, and you absolutely should. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know down in the comments. I'll answer anything. I can hook you up with any track day org. I can at least send you their links and whatnot. I'm not saying I have an in with every single one, but I've talked to a lot of them. They'd be happy to have you out there. I did a podcast episode with Ken Hill, and he said he actually literally saw a tricycle one time, not like a pedal tricycle, but like a three-wheel motorcycle at a track day. So he's seen some wild stuff. He's also all about it. I know plenty of other people that are all about it. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. If you're afraid to leave them down in the comments, that's fine. Hit me up on Instagram at JKMotoEntertainment. I'm happy to answer any and all questions over there. Also, just throw me a DM. I check the requests there pretty often. But please, if you're on two wheels, you haven't been to a racetrack yet, if it's a money thing, I've got some videos on that. I've got track day on a budget. I'll link that right here. If it's just the fact that you don't think your bike belongs, let's get over that. Let's get you out to a racetrack and open up your mind to what your motorcycle can actually do. That is all I have this week to put out. Thank you for watching this video. Please, once again, subscribe to the channel. Throw a like on the video if you liked it. And as always, please, any comments, questions, if you have any feedback for me, leave it down in the comments. Love to hear it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.